Welcome to Well, That Just Happened. I'm your host, Cody Spence.
And I'm your co-host, Mark Hawk.
This is a podcast about, well, do you want to tell them, Mark?
Yeah, so this is a podcast that takes a look at news stories from around the world.
Some that shock us, some that have us asking what just happened, and some that we just found interesting.
So if you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review.
We're on YouTube and any other podcast platform.
And with that being said, all that's left is, let's see what's happening this season.
Alright, so, for this episode of Well, That Just Happened, kind of have stories that are kind of like all over the place, topic-wise. Nothing too crazy, but a lot of things where a couple of them is like, no, just head shakers, the best way to put it.
Yep.
Alright, so I guess the first one, since I like to set them up this way, how do you get your hair cut? Do you cut it yourself? Do you have somebody you know? Do you go to a barber?
I go to a professional, a barber.
Okay, same with your kids?
Yeah.
Have you ever got a haircut for your kids and it wasn't cut right?
Oh, yeah.
How did you respond?
Actually, one time, I took my wife somewhere and they cut her hair, and I told the lady don't cut it too short, and she did, and I was not nice at all. I literally ended up being like, what the fuck, and got up and just walked out. I was that mad.
Wow. Then you might be right on par with this lady.
Man.
This lady called 911.
Wow. Okay, I didn't go that far, but if I could have got the lady arrested, I would have.
All right. So, the Norton mom calls 911 for son's bad haircut. The barber posted up on TikTok of her going out, calling 911 and everything. And there's commentary for it all.
So what was the barber's defense? Or did they not think they did a bad job?
No, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Alright. So, in Norton, Massachusetts, a TikToker posted Monday showing a woman outside the barbershop calling 911. Saying that the barber cut her son's hair too short. The barber's name was Robbie Rocco. He's known on TikTok as Robbie the Bonehead because he works at Bonehead
Barbershop?
Yeah. So essentially what happened was she brought her son there, and he said, when he asked the son, hey, how do you want your haircut? He's like, oh, I want a high top cut. So that's naturally a tighter cut. And Robbie said, are you sure? Showed him the
pictures that they have.
Yeah, showed like the I don't know, the guard or whatever, for the size.
The length of okay.
And showed him, and the kid's like, yeah, that's fine. So he starts cutting the kid's hair, and the mom comes in and just starts wigging out, saying, like, what are you doing? I said cut his hair short. That's too short. And Robbie's like, look, I talked to your kid. He said he was cool with it. It's his hair. Like, what he wants, that's the customer wants. And she's like, but I don't want it. So they kind of go back and forth, and then she gets so upset that she goes outside and calls 911. So he follows her out, and he's recording in the TikTok of it, and he's like, I can't believe this. I can't believe you're calling 911 because I cut your son's hair too short, even though he said he's fine with it. And the dispatcher can be heard on the video, and the police are on their way. And the guy made 2 videos of this. So the whole time he's telling her this is ridiculous. You need to calm down. Poking the bear, calling her Karen.
Oh yeah.
And so that's making it a little bit more upset.
Yeah. Anytime you call a Karen, they Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
So that ends up happening. The police show up, and the police are like, "You gotta be kidding me! This is why you called us here."
But if they sent it to the dispatcher, wouldn't they have known beforehand?
Yeah, you would think, but unless the dispatcher was just like, "It's gonna be really funny."
I would do something like that. I would send the police there, like, "Yep, she said it's an emergency. I don't know what's going on." And then once they call you later, I'm like, he's laughing.
Well, they, he goes out, he's trying to talk to her to calm her down, and she's like, kicking at him, like, telling her, like, get away from me, like, kicking her feet. Wow. He's like, "You're a psycho." It's all posted up on his TikTok. Like I said, Robbie the Bonehead. You can check it out on the TikTok. But eventually, she ends up leaving, and the cops are just they talk to him, and they're just laughing about it. They're like, "This is asinine," because Robbie's like, "Am I gonna get arrested?" They're like, "No, she's an idiot."
Like, so the kid was fine with it?
Yeah, the kid didn't give a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if the kid didn't care, then that's what matters, because it's his hair.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, maybe Karen went a little overboard. All
right. So another story that I have. We've actually talked about stories similar to this. You know how I feel about snakes.
Yes.
So, like, the one story that I have has to do with snakes. Coming and find snakes in a place where I would absolutely just be like, nope.
Like your toilet.
Oh, absolutely, no. No, so this story is, I want to make sure I get the location right. North Queensland. A woman, Kylie Coates, ends up walking outside to go to the laundry room to go out and do laundry. There's a snake orgy of green snakes. They're all fucking in the window.
Oh, nope.
And I'll show you the video. There's at least like 20 freaking snakes.
Wow.
And they're like wrapped up along the window, down like into the dryer, and like all it's disgusting.
No.
But she did what I would have done. What she does, she goes out, looks at it, walks back inside, shuts and locks the door, which I don't know why she had to lock the door. I feel like I would do that too, but the snake, they're not going to magically form like a Voltron and come open the door to get in there.
I probably would have locked the door too, then, not going to lie. But it just makes you feel better, even though you know it's not going to help in that case.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, I don't know. That's just one of those ones to me where I feel like I would have reacted the same way or burned the house down.
If it was spiders, I would have burnt the house down. Guarantee you. Yep, we're doing a torch. Like, I'm just, man.
Yeah. But yeah, it was crazy. Like you said, I'll show you the video of it because, I mean, they're just all wrapped around. And nothing is creepier to me than when you see a snake. Like, its tail's like this way, and it extends and wraps around, but its neck and stuff is, like, elongated that way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when it sticks, it slowly, like, you watch it extending out. That is the creepiest to me, and I don't know why it bugs me so much.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, though, how they can just wrap themselves in that kind of way.
Yeah, and then they can be all wrapped up, make 3 wraps, and then go straight, and they keep growing.
Yeah, well.
I don't like snakes.
Yeah, I noticed.
I say we got time here. This is a really short one. I know we're not really in fireworks season anymore, but it's still the tail end of summer. So, man is hurt with a large firework explodes in his apartment.
You would think that the warning label would tell you not to do that.
With the way it goes off, though, is awesome. Oh. Because it's so stupid. It doesn't give the guy's name in here because he wasn't charged. No. So what ends up happening is this dude and his buddy are doing drugs. And they have fireworks, like a big, like explosive firework, sitting next to the stove. and the stove's on, and the wick gets lit. And since they're a little messed up on drugs, they throw paper towels on it, thinking it's gonna stop it from exploding. They don't get out of harm's way. It goes off. The dude gets seriously injured.
Oh wow!
Because there's no arrest or anything like that. They didn't go into a lot of detail what actually happened, but that is one of the funniest things I've ever heard of. Because I just imagine some dude being high as shit, just being like, "This will smother it."
Yeah, but
paper towels are flammable.
Were they cooking something?
I think so.
Oh, I mean,
it just says the stove was on and they didn't move the firework far enough away. The wick got lit.
I mean, who puts drugs or not? And I've been under the influence of them before, and I would have never thought to leave fireworks near an open flame, and then just go sit in the living room.
No. So, when I read this story, I actually got up, walked into my kitchen, stared at my stove, and I was thinking, there's no way I would have a firework anywhere near here.
No. I would have never thought that either. I mean, you put it, I don't know, in the basement or in your room, closet, somewhere, away until you're ready to use it.
Yeah.
I would never think to store it near a stove. But that's just me.
And then the last story that I have, this is another local one. My mother-in-law actually sent this to me. Jody, if you're listening, thanks. So this one here, it's not really necessarily funny, like the one you did for local. This one's kind of like, I don't know, just kind of makes you shake your head. Like, how did this happen?
Well, this being Venango County, meth. I think.
You can be the judge and let me know.
Okay.
So area man killed in a lawnmower accident.
Oh.
Venango County, PA. This actually happened in Titusville. An area man was killed on a lawnmower accident at a golf course. According to Venango County Coroner Christina Rowe, Leroy E. Wagner, who's 52, Titusville, was declared deceased at the scene of the accident, which occurred the evening of Thursday, September 16th, at Pop Wendy's Knowles Par 3 golf course.
So he was like the caretaker guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wagner was the owner of the golf course, along with being the building maintenance supervisor. He had also been an employee at Cross Creek Resort, Electroloy in Titusville Estates. He was involved in an incident with lawnmower. It got him. And you think one of those industrial kind for a golf course. It like you said, doesn't go into detail how it happened. That's kind of just makes you wonder when I have a riding mower, when I mow mine, there is no way if I fall off of it or anything, I'm getting hurt. One, it sits too low, it's not going to run over me. Two, I also have, mine has one of those seats that if you get off, it kills it. It has a pressure sensor. But those industrial ones, they're not made for that.
Yeah. They're
made to go fast and, for clearance and stuff. We've had a lot of stories here around Venango County. I remember a couple years ago, the one guy was mowing the yard, his farm, with his kid, and the kid fell off. This kid was 5, and he ran his kid over and killed him.
Oh, shit. No, that sucks.
Yeah, so, yes, this week's PSA from my end is, beware of lawnmowers, man. They're a noisy killer.
And don't do drugs and stuff.
Don't do drugs and apparently try to cook fireworks.
Yeah, it doesn't work out well. So the stories I got this week, we're going to start out disgusting. Because people are crazy, they do stupid shit, and it's guys. And they're from Florida. So, so there's a man named Brad. He was paid $68 by his friends to vape his buddy's semen.
What the?
Alright. His friends made a video and uploaded it on YouTube. And the video blew up on Reddit. It's been made private now, but basically, from what I read, his friends offered him $68 to vape the semen. One of his friends donated the load the night before. He put it in his vape, took a hit, and his friends went wild. He almost puked, but his friends reminded him that if he would lose the money if he puked. But while researching this story, I found another video. Like I said, Brad was taken down, but it seems he's not the only one who vapes semen. There's a video of a man who doesn't speak English. The video censors him jacking off into a cup. He holds the thingy up to the screen to show you his load, and he takes a dropper and takes the semen, puts it in his vape, and you can see him smoking it, and then he pukes into a bucket. So not one person did it, but two people did it. Both guys, like, you know, why? I'm not going to say it's better, but at least the foreigner vaped his own semen, whereas Brad vaped his buddy's semen.
Oh my god. Why?
But yeah, the video, it censors his private area, but you can see him running one off, and then as soon as he's done, he takes a dropper and drops it in his vape, and then hits it.
Why?
I don't know.
What? I don't understand. Is it supposed to get you high? Is it supposed to make you feel good? Like, why?
I don't quite understand the whole thing myself, like why you would do that and then put a video out of it on top of that. Like, if you're going to do something like that, I don't know what, like you said, why? But, why? but if you are going to do it, you certainly don't put it online for others to see. Like, I can see why they did it to their buddy. But the guy who vaped his own semen and just made a video of him running one off and then vaping it right afterwards.
Why? I'm at such a loss for words, because a lot of times we come across these weird stories. You can kind of see a realm of what they were thinking. I get Brad's story.
Because his buddy's there.
Yeah, guys can be dickheads to each other. I mean, we know people who it was, I'll pay you $5 to let me smack you across the ass with this ruler as hard as I possibly can. Yeah. Okay. Or take this Dave's Insanity sauce and just drink it. Yeah. I'll give you $1. Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that. But if anybody ever offered me $68,
why? That's so specific. Why $68? Is that all they had?
That's what I'm wondering. They must be broke, because it must have been a lot to the guy.
I ain't puffing no man's semen for nothing.
No.
Then that's the weirder part to me, is it's his buddy's semen.
Yeah, it says, his friend donated it the night before.
What a gentleman.
So, he's at home running one off and then puts it in a jar just so his buddy can vape it the next day.
He told some people.
Oh, yeah. Well, he probably went to work the next day. Hey, man, I jacked off in a cup last night so my buddy can vape it tonight. Like, come on, man. What? Here we go.
Why?
I have no idea. But this guy, I don't think is quite as disturbed, but there's still something wrong with him. All right, Joseph Musso, 63, of Florida, was arrested after walking around naked carrying cooking oil with an erection. So, the police arrived at a home where Musso was caught. Where there was a surveillance video when they received another call from a man stating there was a naked man with an erection on his front porch.
Why the erection?
It gets there. So police found him standing in a driveway by a truck completely naked with a plastic bottle of cooking oil in the pouring rain. He later told police he likes to rub the cooking oil on his legs. When police tried to approach him, he ran around the truck. The officer was able to catch him and take the bottle of cooking oil. When the officer was attempting to arrest him, he ran. Police tased him. He was arrested and charged with loitering and prowling, lewd behavior, resisting without violence, and exposed sex organs. And Musso told police officers he received sexual gratification from being naked in public. He said he wasn't aroused by any person he passed, but was just aroused by the fact of being naked in the rain and outside. And he also admitted this wasn't his first naked stroll.
The whole time you're going over that story in my mind, the Family Guy's greased up deaf guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's who I'm seeing running around.
I mean, basically, yeah, this guy, he just likes to get naked, walk in public, and rub cooking oil on himself.
Yeah, said he likes to rub it on his legs, so he's not using the cooking oil to tug one out.
No, he just said, and like he said, he wasn't really aroused by anyone in particular. The fact of being naked in public is what aroused him. He just likes people to look at him naked. Would you just look at it? It's not asking people to touch. Just look at me.
Yeah.
He likes the attention.
Wow, that's something different.
Yeah, well, I don't get the cooking oil on the legs. Like, if you're going to use it, like, I would probably oil up my man parts and, that way it's all shiny when you're looking at it. I don't know, man.
I don't know, just, you get all, like, lathered up and that stuff, and you go outside in the rain, all you're going to do is make a giant freaking mess.
Yeah, but you're outside and you're naked. You're not getting it on your clothes.
No, that's true.
And the rain kind of washes it away. I don't know. Maybe he just likes that oily feeling on his skin and being naked.
I don't know. Maybe. That's not as disturbing as the other ones, but go on.
All right. So, this one you might like. William Edwards, 28, of Florida. There's a surveillance video of this incident, and I did watch it.
Okay.
He was leaving a strip club that he was a regular at. Security tried to stop him because they believed he was too drunk to drive. So, the video shows him getting in his truck, and there's people coming up to the truck, and he, speeds away. And as he's speeding out of the parking lot, he falls out of his truck, and it runs his leg over.
Oh.
But he gets up and runs away, and you can see the truck, still going down the road, and it runs into a lady's house.
What the fuck? You're sitting there minding your own business, and here comes the Ford pickup right through the front door.
Well, it went into a 58-year-old woman's house where she was sleeping. She received minor injuries, but was not taken to the hospital. But he left the scene, but he left his ID at the strip club, so he was charged with hit and run and careless driving.
Hit and run.
I mean,
he didn't make it to the hit.
That's kind of what I was thinking. That's not exactly the charges he probably should have got for that, but... All right, now this next one isn't funny because this happens to a lot of people all the time, and it's pretty messed up. So,
Florida man.
Yep, another Florida guy. But he was awarded $37,500 for being arrested for Krispy Kreme donut residue. So what happened was, I'll get there. It's pretty messed up. So he had just dropped a friend off at chemo, was driving an older woman from his church from home to work. As he pulled out of the 7-Eleven she worked at, he was pulled over. The officer said he was going 42 and a 30, and he failed to come to a complete stop before entering the roadway. When he gave his ID to the officer, she noted he had a concealed weapons permit. So she asked to search his car, which he said, okay. At this point, there were four officers there. The officer asked Daniel, "Do you want to tell me what we found?" He replied, "There's nothing to find." The officer found some crystals on the floorboard. The crystal tested positive for meth using one of those NIC tests that they use a lot. So Daniel said, "That's impossible. I've never even smoked a cigarette." When shown the crystals, he said, "That's glaze from a Krispy Kreme donut. I get one every other Wednesday." Now at this point, I would have been a smartass and be like, "You can't tell me you don't know what glaze from a donut is." Since there was cops there. But he didn't. The officers didn't buy it, arrested him on possession of meth while armed with a weapon. He spent 10 hours in jail before being released on bail after the crystals were sent to the lab and determined it was not meth.
It was a donut.
All the charges were dropped. Daniel sued and they gave him a $37,500 settlement. He said the arresting officer was nice and polite. His issue is with the NIC test they use. He said they give a false positive 1 out of every 5 times. And he's still working on getting his record expunged. and he doesn't eat donuts in his car anymore.
Fair.
But, you know, that was an interesting fact. They said 1 out of every 5 is a false positive. So, looking further into it, there was another guy, Carlos Cash, was arrested because of these tests. He was pulled over for driving without headlights. He was on probation at the time for marijuana and cocaine charges. Court records showed he was, out past his court-ordered curfew. White powder was found on his floorboards. Came back positive for cocaine, but he swore it was drywall because he's a handyman and, works with it every day.
Yeah.
But he was arrested. Turns out the system wasn't up to date. He wasn't out past his curfew, but because he was violating probation, his bail was denied, and he spent 90 days in jail until the lab results proved that the powder wasn't cocaine, that it wasn't bad.
Why did it take that long?
That's what I'm wondering. It should not take that long to come up with that. But yeah, he spent 90 days in jail because of one of those tests.
I'd be furious.
Yeah, so just... that'd be my PSA. Make sure, I got pulled over one time and they took a piece of lettuce out of my car and tested it for weed.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't arrest me or nothing, but they did one of those tests on the scene and they asked me, is this marijuana? I'm like, no, it's lettuce. My wife literally ate a sub in that seat yesterday. We're just messy eaters. And lucky for me, it didn't get a false positive. But yeah, if they see something like that in your vehicle and you got a reputation, they're checking it.
Yeah.
Or maybe even if you don't have a reputation, they check it. I don't know. But you can't trust those tests. And you saw it. Sometimes it can really lead to bad things because, he spent 90 days in jail because of drywall.
That's crazy.
But those are the stories I have for this week, and we will discuss things more in the wrap-up.
Okay. In our weekly wrap-up, we discuss some of our personal opinions and ideas. So let's see what we thought this week.
Okay.
Alright, so what do you want to touch on in the wrap-up?
The guy who got ran over by a lawnmower, man, that's scary stuff.
It is scary.
Because, a lot of the yards and stuff aren't flat. Like, if you're on that hill and you roll off of that and it just keeps going. Like, I like that you said yours has a safety feature. So I know other people's tractors don't.
Yeah.
And, when they give kids rides and that, they just switch kids on and off and they get off of there and it still runs. So it's cool yours has a feature that doesn't let that happen.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's also kind of a pain.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
I've been mowing my yard for 11 years now. My God. Anyway, I when I go in to mow the dog yard, I don't want to get off my lawnmower to go open it up, so I found a way to finagle it to where I can pull right up, pop open the lid, I leave it kind of loose, then I run the tractor into it to go through. But it like you said, there's other stories from around here that it's happened, and I know I mow my kids on my lawnmower. They'll be in my lap. I got one arm around them to hold on to them. But the looks that I get, when I'm mowing out front by the main road and people see it, you can tell what they're thinking.
Oh, yeah. And it's probably because, it's happened in this area. Now, I can see if you had a beer in your cup holder. I don't know if your tractor has a cup holder.
It does, but that's one of the dumbest things I think there could ever be on a lawnmower because the thing's full of so much vibration. Anything you put inside that cup holder, it's going flat.
Yeah, exactly. But I do know you can also, you don't have to worry about it in the back so much, but if you're by the road, you can get a DUI just for having a beer on your riding mower, which I always thought was messed up.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so another thing. So are you going to vape some semen, Cody?
Absolutely not. I still don't understand why.
Okay, I knew that was coming. You were just be like, why?
Anybody out there, you have an answer, by God, please let me know, because I am dumbfounded.
Yeah, I don't understand it unless they were just like, I've never tried this before. Let me see what happens.
I've never tried a lot of things. Doesn't mean I have any interest in doing it.
Hey, man. you know, a lot of discoveries were just because no one's done it
Like
before.
I said, I can understand the Brad story because guys are dickheads to each other.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense to me. The other one, no.
Yeah, it's true. And to put yourself on video, running one on. I mean, you can literally go on YouTube and just put guy vape semen, and it'll come up.
Ah.
Yeah, because that's what my wife did.
Ah.
She's like, watch this. No, I don't want to. And then she's like, well, I'm going to put it on TV anyways. It's messed up. Any other stories you want to touch up on?
Yeah. I guess the other one, too, because now that it's later, I showed you the video of the snakes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of freaking snakes.
Yeah,
And they're not little snakes either. Those were big.
They're decent-sized snakes. Like, I didn't see the orgy part of it. Like, it didn't look like they were having sex, but they were crawling all over the place. And
well, I think it's because they were, like, wrapped up.
But, dude, they got so damn close to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm not getting... I mean, it looked like they were within 5 feet of them to take that video.
Yeah.
No way. I'm not afraid of snakes. Like, you know... I'll stand back a few feet and be like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But, you know, I'm not going to get within striking distance, which that person clearly was.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't do that. That's dumb.
Said I would have walked down and just been, nope.
Yeah, I would have walked in, saw the snakes. See ya. Out.
Just throw the keys out the door. It's your house now. Go on.
I would move out.
And I guess the other thing, too, the other story, the barber, because now that it's later, I showed you the guy's two TikTok videos that he put out there. It is very interesting to hear him tell the story.
Yeah, because he said he asked the kid what he wanted. The kid said the number 2, which, yeah, you know, it's a short one, and the kid's like, yeah, whatever. And he asked for a high and tight. That, I mean...
That... I did like with the mom when he goes out to record her while she's on the phone, and she's like, "Can you tell him to get away from me?" And they obviously told her, "No, you leave, you walk away from him."
Yeah. But
the whole time he's like, "What are you saying?" The whole time in the video, he's like, "Look at this lady, look at this lady," and he had very, very strong Massachusetts
sound like he's from Boston. You know?
Yeah. In my mind, I kept thinking of like Ted. The movie Ted, like Mark Wahlberg's accent coming out of that guy. But that's pretty much all I got for this week.
Yep, that will be it. So, until next time.
Well, that just happened.
If you like what you heard, tune in next week to see what else we find.
Also, please leave a review, a like, and subscribe.
If there's something you think is interesting and would like us to address, then reach out to the show and let us know.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much anywhere you want to reach us.
And with that being said, this concludes our episode of Well, That Just Happened.